I think we live. We live? Yeah, I think we live. Let's see what's cracking. Where we at? Right up here. Yeah. We on. Got too much in the way. Yeah. Welcome back. It's your boy Professor Pippins back in this, trying to get active in these markets, trying to get active on these charts, trying to see what the market gonna do for tonight. My audio might be kind of jacked up. I've been messing with the settings, trying to look and see how to change things up. It's about time for some multi-monitors. I kind of understand now why people run with the multi-monitor now, seeing that I'm starting to do different things or starting to have different needs than I was when I first started. So now I can see why people have 1, 2, 3, 4 monitors. At first I didn't understand. I'm like, bro, if I can see the charts, then I'm gonna just get active. I don't really need other monitor. But now, yeah, because now it's all jammed on one monitor, as you can see. And yeah. But yeah, my name is Professor Pippins, and we is in the building trying to get active within these markets. This is my Forex outlook of the market for July 25th, 2025. This is of my own analysis. This is intended to be Forex education, not intended for you to go and jump into the live markets with any of the strategies or thought ideas or philosophy presented this evening. Yeah, trade at your own risk. But going forward, yeah, for the most part on AU, coming from the weekend analysis, what we saw was previously last week we were big bullish. Last week, price action came to right over here with this candle, the weekly open, and what we were looking for was to see if price action was going to continue this bullish trend, or we were going to break through 4-hour support and continue to go bearish on the 4-hour channel, on the 4-hour time frame. Last night I got active on some shorts. I saw the Asian session start to open up, and what it did was it didn't really show too much interest in going bullish. And from the lower time frame, you can just see 4 candles in a row. On the 1H time frame, when you go down to the 15-minute, you can start to see structure start to build, and it's not the cleanest structure, but when you watch the Asian session enough, you learn to identify when structure is starting to be created. So as we open up, this rate would have been the Asian candle open. So the 5 o'clock hour candle doesn't really count for me in my book. That's just what it is. The market refreshing, warming up the batteries, getting everything recharged. So for the most part, we opened up bearishly, came down, not much bullish, like I said. Wasn't showing a whole bunch of bullish momentum going to the upside. So as we came down and started breaking through lows, got in. Quick little TP down here. I don't think I took full profits right down here. I took some profits at TP at 10 pips, and then the rest, some more profits right down here, then close the whole thing as it started to pull back. But what we can see, based off what we're looking for over the weekend, price action did actually pull back to some level on the 1-hour chart. And from the Asian session last night into the London session into the New York session this morning, all we did was push back into 4-hour highs. At this point, we have not been able to break 4-hour highs, and what I'm looking for is a structure shift right up here. For the most part, what we've got so far is a failure to create new highs. We are still up in that 4-hour resistance level, as well as that daily resistance level outlined in the gray in the background. So overall, this trade idea is kind of what we're looking for the market to do for the most part, entering towards the end of market close today, and now looking to see if price action can push through this 1-hour support. What's going on? Can you hear me? Can you see the charts? All right. Let me see. All right, cool. So what I'm looking at right here is pretty much just AU. This is a trade setup / idea I'm looking for tonight. Expecting price action to short off from this level right up in here. I actually did take a small position to enter into this trade somewhat prematurely. You don't have a ton of confirmations that price action is going to continue bearish, but what I'm basing this off of is if you look from the higher time frames on down, so we're looking at the 4-hour time frame. When you blink the charts, price action is pushing higher, making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows until we get into this area. Price action pushed up and created the high with the wick, came back down, gave you a higher low here, but then when we pushed back up, we failed to break this high. So when you let me see, when you open up the chart a little bit more, then as you can see, we pushed and created that high, pulled back, gave you a higher low from the area that started the bullish trend / momentum / whatever you want to call it. Up to this way, we pulled back, stayed above that level, but then when we pushed back to the high side, we did not break that high. So when you bring the analysis back, we're looking for price action to pull back, break through 1-hour supports, break through 4-hour supports potentially if it wants to. But overall, if it breaks through this first 4-hour support, then we're looking to take off some profits right at 69,370-ish level. And then if it continues to drop and continues to go bearish, let it keep running. If we come into this 1-hour support right here, it's pretty early within the Asian session, and start to close bullishly or start to push big bears into this level and then reject with long rejection candles from a bearish rejection, then I'll be looking to exit up out of that thing quickly. It is only, like I said, a small position because I knew I was getting in early. I knew I was getting in close to the time where the market resets around that 5 to 6 p.m. hour. So I did not put a lot into this position right here. So ultimately looking to see what happens at this 1-hour support right here first, and then see how price action reacts from there. And then I got a whole bunch of other pairs that I analyzed and worked up over the weekend that we can look at, or if you got something else you want to check out. The NASDAQ coming in strong.
When you said the chart up, you had a 1-hour support resistance and then you had 4-hour. Is one you consider strong?
Yeah, 4 hours a higher time frame. 4 hour support is going to be stronger than your 1-hour support. Let me see if I can find.
Wouldn't you still see that 4-hour support in the 1-hour?
Potentially. So like right here, you got the 4-hour support in the 1-hour, or the 4-hour resistance and the 1-hour resistance in the same area. I only identified it on the chart just so my charts look very similar. So I don't want it to be on some charts you see a 4-hour support and then a 1-hour support, and some charts you don't. So I don't want people to think that I forgot to draw it in. So even though I realized that this is the here we go. Price action has created a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So on the 4-hour time frame, this is the last higher high that price action created before it did any of this over here. So when it retraced a little bit and tried to push higher, it failed at this 4-hour resistance. I know on the lower time frame, when I bumped down to the 1-hour, just because of the candles, the way they develop, I would call this a 1-hour resistance. It doesn't necessarily have to be there, but ultimately I could delete that. But like I said, when I go back to all the rest of my charts, I wanted to, let me see. Let me pull up the weekend analysis. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So when you click through these, it's a 1-hour, it's a 1-hour and 4-hour on here. It's a 1-hour and 4-hour on here, all the way through all the charts. So, you kind of get used to looking at the same stuff. So necessarily, ultimately, we're saying that the 4-hour support is stronger, is bigger, it has more resistance for price action to push through than the 1 hour, and then the same thing would go for the daily. It would be harder for price action to push through this level up here in the gray than it would be to push through this 4 hour level. But looking at NAS 100 right now, I use the 4 hour and the 1 hour supports to let me know how price action is getting back to the daily zone, because ultimately the daily charts, the higher time frames of what's really telling you what's going on in the game. So when you ultimately look at this from a daily perspective, let me go bigger and then smaller. So what you had was a downtrend, blank all that in the background. You had was a downtrend right here, making lower lows and lower highs. Then price action gave you the last lower high that created the lower low. But when it came back, it didn't stop at that resistance. See, price action was bullish, and then it just stopped right here. That means price action created a resistance, especially since they closed bearish the very next candle. So there's a resistance there, meaning that price action tried to go higher, but it couldn't, so it went bearish. Then it came back and pushed into that resistance again, and then there wasn't enough, bearish orders to push the market lower, so it was able to break through this resistance right here. So now the new high is right up here, and from this point you start to make higher highs and higher lows. So back in over here you was bearish, but then once you got to this point you started to make higher highs and higher lows, so your trend is starting to shift to bullish. But as you start to shift to this bullish trend, you ran into another resistance the same way you ran into resistance down here. So now you have to ask yourself, we are bullish currently where the market stands, but we have ran into resistance. What happened once price action ran into the resistance looking left? Okay, so we were big bullish, we ran into the resistance looking left, and we started going back bearish. So now, in order to, for me, when it comes to psychology, in order for me to determine if this price action is going to continue to go bearish or if it's going to stop and go back bullish, I would look for the first support area within the market on the daily time frame. So when I mark up my charts, my daily support, this gray box area here, theoretically should be right up here. But since the market is bearish, I have it drawn up that, this is the last lower high that created the low on the daily time frame. And right now, all this price action for me is corrective until we get above here. So for me, the way I read charts, once price action closed above this level, then we're now officially switching to a bullish trend. So right now, we're just corrective price action back into this daily high.
That makes sense. I did not see it that way.
Yeah.
I thought we were in a bullish trend.
Yeah, we are in bullish trend right now. But,
I mean, I see why we're not like 100%
right, in a bullish trend. Yeah, yeah. So ultimately, this move right here is retracing back into this level of, if you read it from supply and demand, this would be a supply right down here. Supply within the market, we're retracing back to supply, potentially to pick up orders, grab liquidity, whatever, however you read the market. And yeah, go on from like that. So if price was able to close above this level, when price action is going this way, my eyes would immediately look left to say, okay, well, when it came down, the resistance was here. So when it gets back up to that level, right up here, could there be a resistance here? How does price action react once it gets to this level? And then once it reacts, what does it do? What does it show you on the charts that it did once it hit that level? If that makes any sense. So on the 4 hour, I know we were bullish on the 4 hour. So we're looking to see what price action did once it hit this resistance. It hit the resistance and started, making lower lows and lower highs. So as of right now, price action is bearish, or yeah, the trend or the price action is bearish on the 4H chart, retracing, this little bullish trend right here. So since this is the low of the 4 hour chart and this is the high, this is marked up off the daily too. I can tell by how big the zones are, but we could mark this from scratch. Let me. I don't know how this moves during this session, because I was about to say, if you're looking for a trade idea, I'll have to mark this up completely over. But overall, yeah, so now the market's moving bearish. And then what I would do from there, let me see the easiest way to explain this, because this is, let's delete this. All right, and delete this. We can delete this too, because we already know the market is going bullish. All right, so we'll move this out the way, put this back over here, and then we just gonna refer back to these as we mark up this chart. So on the daily time frame, we got the lower high that created the lower low, and we consider this as corrective price action, retracing this move that pushed down. We got this corrective price action. As we can see right over here, we had, this is a little bit, probably more advanced, but we had about 17 bars to get to the downside. And then to start pushing back up to the upside, we have had 155 bars. So that's another way to kind of identify if price action is correcting or impulsing to the downside. But we're correcting back to the upside. So when we look on the 4-hour chart, I'm going to remark these levels so that it makes sense. We're making higher highs and higher lows. Until this point, we created the high. So originally, it would have been marked high, low, high, high, low. So originally, it probably would have been like this. And we got about 10 more minutes before I need to switch over to AU. So originally, it would have looked like this 4-hour level. And then we'd have a 4-hour level like here. So I would have been looking for, let me see, replay it. I would have been looking to see how far price action retraced this way and then what it did once it came back to this level. So we got the higher low that gave you the higher high on the 4H. We come to the 1 hour. We can adjust this 4-hour level to something like this because of the candle and the wick, because of the candle and the wick. And then on this top side, we can just from here to here, taking this candle in the wick, this candle in the wick, and then this candle right here. So this is your 4-hour high, your 4-hour low. And then since these levels here are so close together when we're talking about price action, as far as price over here on the side, we call those like kind of equal lows. And I would wait for price action to create the support. And what you can kind of see is the first support that was created on the 1-hour time frame has already been broken right here. This is the support right here. This candle came down and it was bearish until this point. Then it closed bullish, confirming your support right here. This price action came down, closed through. Well, not really. We didn't really break it. So potentially we're still in that support zone. So you wait to see what price action does when it comes back to the top here. And as you can see, we broke through that support. So now price action could be getting ready to shift bearish. We want to see what happens when it gets back to the high side, to the resistance. We pushed up, we were bullish. Next candle is bearish. Next candle wick through, grabbing liquidity, pushing back into that daily zone, and starting to come down. And as you can see, we closed through support right over here, retested, grabbed liquidity, and continued to the downside. Now, when, like I said, I identified these equal lows right here, I necessarily expect a candle like this to break through all those lows, because if you were bullish until this point, you potentially had your stop loss right under here if you were trying to buy the market. So when I see equal lows like that, I'm imagining it as price. When that price action comes back to those levels, it's going to swoop right through those levels. So when we continue to play the candles out, you can just see how easily they push through these stop loss, these levels right here, versus how choppy and small these candles are. So that was the support. I wouldn't have necessarily marked another 1-hour support simply because, like I said, you got the equal lows, and then you came back to retest the 4-hour support right down here. And then as of right now, we're just pushing forward through the live market. So once we came to the 4-hour support, like I said, same thing like we did with the resistance. Would have waited for the reaction, saw how it retraced, potentially look for a level, looking left. Since I know this right here, we don't necessarily have a level to back up in here. And this price action right here broke structure, looking left. I potentially would have threw a fib on it to try to find a level. But I don't really like this setup right here, simply because I don't have a structural level to kind of identify this level here. So it's pretty much a guessing game, because until price action gets up there, you you don't know where it's going to stop at. You know, this can keep going bullish until it finds resistance. So the first resistance I would have been looking for was way back up here, but as you go back forward, as you can see, it didn't make it back that high. It, you know, pushed back into the 50. So overall, I think this continue to the downside. Looking left, the next support area is like right here. So pretty much, you know, you kind of already got there. So I will wait until see how we actually tap into that level. So I think price action will continue to come on down until it actually gets into that level. And then I'll wait to see, does it, you know, push back bullish more and start breaking through levels we just came through, or does it continue bearish and come back down to the next support way down at something like way down here. Gosh, it's a big ass range to get active. Oh yeah, if you catch that back to the downside, you're stupid pips. Stupid pips. So, yeah, as you just build that story, look and see what it's doing on the weekly, look and see what it's doing on the daily, and then build that story as you go out of the lower time frame. You can potentially build that story to catch that short all the way down in there. Then you tie in some news with it, and you know you got you a macaroni sandwich right there. And you about to jump off. News about to pop off. This is pump faking right over here. Ultimately, my thoughts on this, I think we're gonna grab liquidity before moving down, just because of how choppy this is. And I went through, you know, some Forex Factory, looked and tried to see if anything was set to pop off over here. Nothing until tomorrow morning, and then I looked at some other news sources. We got right here too many open charts. I looked at some other news sources and didn't really see too much there. So, yeah, we're gonna close all that. So, pretty much waiting. We know that momentum likes to jump in the market sometimes during the Asian session around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're gonna see what the market got in store for us when it gets to crack-a-lacking here shortly. Yeah, I gotta bring that knobs back over here. So I remember the. Let me see. Nav. So what type of strategy are you starting to frame in mind, like that you starting to rock with, or it looks familiar, something that you're gonna be able to you know.
So for me, so far, this support and resistance zones been working pretty well.
Okay.
I mean, I'm able to identify them, which is great. It's progress for me. But my issue is the entry. Like I'm always entering kind of late or too early, and it's really hard to determine when to get in. So that's the next thing I'm working on.
Right. I would say the biggest thing for me when it came to entries was realizing on the higher time frames, you know, what price action was doing and when or how being able to identify if price action is just going to give you a short retracement or if it's going to give you that deep retracement. And I feel like once you're able to identify, you know, which direction your market is going in and, you know, your trend, your structures, and you say, okay, well, like I said, I saw this high being created. I saw a price action from the London session and the New York session was not able to break that high. I know that on the weekly time frame, we pushing into resistance, so we could potentially retrace a little bit, but this big bullish candle pushing to the resistance now, this would be necessarily your reaction candle to say, okay, well, we're going to continue bullish or we're going to start going back bearish. And then you can potentially build the rest of your story to say, okay, well, that candle, once we push into that structure, the next candle close bearish. So potentially the candle that's forming after that could close bearish as well. So, you know, but that's, you know, looking kind of far within the, you know, in the future. But on the daily, as you come down, it's kind of hard to determine looking left because there are so many levels, which one price action ultimately is going to respect. So it's all about, you know, kind of like timing for me. During the Asian session, I know if I want to catch pretty much a sniper entry or I want to catch when momentum is going to kick into the market, I know I need to have my charts marked up or analyzed and me ready to have a trade idea and or not have a trade idea at least by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I know at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time the market likes to pick up momentum like we're about to see here in 2 minutes. It's either going to be there or it's not going to be there. Either you're about to see a big bearish candle or you're not going to see a big bearish candle. It's just going to keep being small. And then I know if it don't jump off between 8 o'clock and 8:15, then I now am having to wait till at least 8:45 to 9 o'clock, because I watch the Asian session so much that I know that those are the momentum times within the market. If it don't happen at this time, then I know now I'm waiting to the next time. So being able to collaborate that time thing with what you're seeing within the market is what will help you be able to. Now, if this market just come and melt, I would necessarily be like, okay, yeah, I caught the sniper entry simply because I saw price action push up. It came down. It broke structure on a 1 hour time frame. It pulled back and was not able to break that 4 hour high. And now it's starting to retrace back to the downside. So I knew that I got in a little bit earlier on this one, but if this does continue to the downside, these other entries I'm about to put in would be because I knew to be at the charts at 8 o'clock. So I knew it would be time for this entry to potentially pop off. So yeah, that's how I pretty much time up my entries and be able to know if I'm getting in at the start of the trade, or if I got in at the middle, or if I'm down at the bottom. So coming into it, and if price action plays out and actually drops all the way down here for tomorrow, I would have said, okay, well, price action came up here, it retested the high. I thought it was going to drop. It ended up dropping. So now that it has dropped, it came and broke all this. Now it's retracing. So how far do I think it's going to retrace? When you bring the screen in, so you say, okay, well, if price action actually drops tonight and give you all this, and then it breaks through this 4 hour level looking left, how far do I think it's going to come down, retest, and then, this would be the trade idea for tomorrow. How far is it going to retrace? And then, if it stops at this level tomorrow night at the Asian session, I know at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Asian session, I'm looking for this level to get hit. I'm looking for price action to stall out, kind of like it's doing right up here with the candles. And then potentially I got another short back into the daily lows, where price action started from at the weekly open. So a lot of it is experience. A lot of it, watching the charts and knowing, like you said, you like to trade the NAS. I know when I was trading the NAS back in the day, I knew I had to be at the charts about 8:30, 8:45 in the morning, because that NYSE open, it's going to be a lot of volatility in the market, and NAS going to go crazy. So if you can sit through that 8:30, 9 o'clock candle open, that, and then just chill out to at least about 9:30, 9:45, potentially around that about 9:30, 9:45, you have an idea of where the market wants to go. It then shook out everybody who got in early. It then, grab the stops. It then potentially grab liquidity by then if ain't no other news about to come out. And now it's about to, go ahead and start trending for you. So just watching the charts and being able to identify and see that and say, okay, well, that's what it's doing. So I'm gonna just wait till about 9:30, 9:45, and then if price action started to leak, I'm gonna get in. If it don't, then I'm gonna just sit and wait. So yeah. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna hold on right here because it is 8 o'clock. We're gonna bump down to the 5 minute and see if we get any structure shifts first. This is so bright.
How long do you stay on? From 8 to midnight? Or?
When I'm doing the live streams, it's usually like 7:30 to about 8:45, 9 o'clock. If I'm doing the Zoom, it usually depends on, who trying to hop on and what all they trying to look at.
No, I meant like how long do you stay up and watch?
Oh, the charts too. I get off like at 11. So I start watching. I look at the price on my phone and stuff like that around about 6, 7 o'clock. I'm in front of the computer screen, lining up everything. 7:30. Starting to have an idea of what I'm thinking I'm about to do, and then usually about at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock frame, I'm looking to attack. So, and then 11 o'clock, I look to see if it's gonna continue or if it's gonna break down or what have you. And then if it does, get out. If it don't, then let it ride. But sometimes you get the price action like you got right now, it ain't doing nothing, and then you just be like, man, hurry up, 11 o'clock, so I can get off these charts. Because the longer you just keep sitting here hoping and wishing and praying something will happen, you probably end it too early. And then, that leaves more chances of running into problems. But right now, on the 5-minute chart, we are currently downtrending. So if I all of a sudden see some big spike type action doing something like this, pushing up into the highs, and then pulling back, failing to break lows back in over here, then I'm like, ooh, okay. In a couple more pumps, my stop loss is going to get tagged because at that point we are now building bullish structure, and price action could be going bullish instead of bearish.
I'm gonna have to. I have a quick question before I go.
Yeah,
No matter. So if the market is gonna go up, sorry, that's my daughter.
you good.
Okay. So if the market is gonna go up, does it matter what session you're in? Like, if you're trading in London session or New York session or Sydney session, like no matter what, the market's gonna do what it's gonna do, right?
Right, right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, regardless of what session you get in. The way I would tell people how to try to identify a session is okay. So, if you got a regular 9 to 5 and you live in the states, you potentially, if you have access to your phone, you could get active that way. But if you ain't got access to like your personal computer or like a phone, you can quick check every now and again and look at the charts. Then it's gonna be pretty tough, pretty difficult for you to trade the NY session. So you have to make a choice to say, okay, well, I'm gonna get up early in the morning in London at 3 o'clock in the morning if you live in the States, or I'm gonna try and rock it out during the agent session at nighttime and see what I can squeak in there. So, yeah, a lot of it kind of just depends on when you can potentially get to the chart. So I know during the agent session, this is the price action I got to play with to determine which way the trade is going to go or which way I can get into a trade or which way the market is going to go. If you come during a New York session, this is the price action you had to play with today. Usually it's a little bit more, something like this, but today for some reason this is what you got. So now we back into the Asian session. The time where I watch the charts, this could take off and go crazy, or it could just do like the New York session did, and that's all the price action I would have got, and there probably would have been no good trades based off of this. But and then the London session might come back, and then now you go through the London session, look at all the price action you got in the London session. So it mostly, like I said, depends on what your lifestyle can afford. If you can come to the charts in the Asian session, then you find the trades in the Asian session. If you got to wait to the London session, then when the London session roll around, then you might get something like this right over here. But in the future, yeah, yeah. So sometimes the Asian session they give you 100 pips. Sometimes they only give you 5. You just got to be in the charts on the right day. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna be on here for this video probably about 8:45. I'll drop it in the group, drop it on YouTube, and then you can just come and kind of go back and forth. I'll remark that NAS up after you get off, like from top to bottom. After this right here, kind of do what it's gonna do right here real quick, and then that way you can watch the end of the video and see it on there. All right. Yeah. Yep. I need it in my life. I want it in my life. Come put it in my life. I'ma keep it in my life. And that boy Juicy from the Magnolia, still Logan. Bust that see you. I don't know none of the lyrics, none of these songs, but I will bust out and start rapping in a minute because it'd be so boring. Just watching these candles print, like watching paint dry. But, if you get it right, then you get you some expensive paint. If you get it wrong, then, yeah, you might be crying with the paint. Yeah. So far, this ain't doing nothing. But, yeah, I'm going to hold on to that, at least to the 8:15 candle close, because it can show a lot, it can show nothing. It can tell me what I want to know, it can tell me what I want to know. Either we're going to move or we ain't going to move. And then, this meeting will end in 10 minutes. Upgrade now to save 40% off on Zoom Pro. Okay, well, if you would have told me how much that 40% would have been saving me, then I probably would have put upgrade. But since it ain't got no price on it, it's probably some crazy number that I ain't willing to pay. So I'm gonna go ahead and it's so dead. And you know that's how you get out of impulse buying. If it got a price on there when they try to advertise it to me, then I might rock with them because they came straight up. Hey, listen, I got this over here for this amount of whatever. If you want it, here it is. If you don't, I appreciate you. But since you try to come through the back door, hey, get 40% off. 40% off what though? You know, if you talking about 40% off $2 ain't but a little bit. 40% off 200, and the overall price you end up paying like 150. No, I'm straight. I'm Gucci Golden. I know I just told that example in the inverse order, but it is what it is. You know what I'm talking about, so get with it, get lost. Yeah. A bunch of that. I want to flip through these other charts so I can kind of show y'all what I'm looking like, but excuse me. I got a feeling, that tonight's gonna be a good night. No ceiling. She's got my status. What y'all know about that? No ceilings. The wee. Was that on No Ceilings? Oh, I'm trying to think. I don't know. We ain't putting out a new song every day. Then we started running together after a while. I don't know what CD was on what. Everything was on everything. You just had Wayne. It was nothing but Wayne. Every song for about 5 years straight, 6 years, probably longer than that. And then Drake took over. It was number Drake. Every song for about 5 years straight. I'm like, bruh. And then, yeah. But we see a little bit of pump fake action to the highs. Let me see what they want to do. Because if it's set up like it set up last week, yeah, remember, we got pump fake to the top side. It consolidated, and then at the pre-London Open, it dipped back down below this level. We had the same trade set up out there. We tried to short from that level too, and then pump fake to the top side, consolidated into London. So, let me see if I can find that. That was just last week. Weekly open. Let me see. The 1890 Monday and Tuesday. That's probably. Yeah, cause this ain't it. That ain't it. It was low, just like this. We had a high with that might be it. That's on 15 minutes. Let's see on the wire. On the wire. I don't know, but I was trying to find the setup to where it was exactly like this. Pushing against that level, and price action manipulated, and then it consolidated until London, and then it melted instead of dropping in the Asian session. Really. It's now 812. Price action is now back bully. More pump faking to the bullies. It's back at my entry. It's back at my entry. So if we had fully tapped into that or that support right there, I would have thought twice about keeping this open. But since it didn't come all the way down and actually tap into that level, I think I'm gonna leave it open. Now I might get kicked square in the nuts, and it might just shoot one big ass Mariposa candle right up to that stop loss. But I'm okay with that.
So we got the 50% level there. And that saves our ass when it touches the top. But if it doesn't, if it goes the other way and it starts to drop, oh my gosh. We're going to be buying milkshakes for the next 2 weeks. Woo. No, I'm just tripping. Shout out to all the milkshakes out there. Cookout got some bomb milkshakes. Cookout be hitting. I try not to hit Cookout too often because Cookout will swell you up and blow you out, you know. So shout out to the Cookout lovers, but be careful on the back end because yeah, it can lead to a whole bunch of colon issues or irritable bowel. You just be careful with all that. If you're eating them double deluxe crusted Krispy Kreme burgers and shit every other day, and you talk about my stomach keep hurting, I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't get off the couch, my legs and shit is hurting. Then you need to check them double deluxe extra crispy thick burgers you fucking eating, cause that might be why you can't get off the couch. Your legs and shit hurting, clogging your arteries, bro. You know what clogged arteries feel like? I'm gonna give you go to McDonald's and get you a number 7, no onions, or get a small cause we trying to watch the calories, and then get a sweet tea to drink. And then when they give you the straw, don't put it in the drink, take it on to the crib. Get you like a marble or something, and then grab that straw and try to blow that marble through that straw, and then that's what it like right there. Yeah. So yeah. Come on, man, do something. Shit. Come on, man. Let me see something. Ain't nothing moving. Markets is dead. Now, the moment you say the markets is dead, you be like, we only 2 hours, or let's see, let me do math. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we 3 hours, or we on the last hour of this 4-hour candle. Okay, the last hour. So we trying to see what he gonna do. The 5 o'clock candle, we open right over here. We came out bullish, then we retraced. Okay, 6 o'clock candle came out no momentum, no volume. This is the 6 o'clock candle right here. Okay, and then you got the 7 o'clock candle. It opened up bullishly, but then retraced, and then you got the start of the 8 o'clock candle. A little bit more volume, a little bit more momentum than the rest of these swaggling ass candles, but it did close bullish. Now you got the 8:15 candle. Let's see what it do. Yeah. So we're in the last hour of that 4-hour candle. The previous 3-hour candles, no momentum, no volume. Pretty much the bias is bearish until this 8 o'clock candle now has opened. The 8:15 candle has closed somewhat big bullish, and the 8:15, 8:30 candle is somewhat getting ready trying to break the high. So potentially, as you continue to build that story to say, okay, well, I think the shorts are going to come into play, as you see pre-session still failing to break this New York low, and now we're within the Asian session, we're looking to go break the MYI. You can say, okay, well, potentially either these shirts aren't going to work, or you're in too early, bro. Or the trade was, just take too long. Bullish, just buy it. I could have did that. Let's see what happened. Yeah, 10 pills already. So, just a little bit more. And you guys just taste the treat. 20 pills. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh, wow. Second offer, 40% off, no price, no bueno. We're gonna go ahead. And we can close that and minimize you, and we can rock it like that. I ain't seen my man Savage in a minute. E, E, E. I don't know what price is gonna do right now. That. Yeah, we could have took it long. At this point, it would have been the easy trade, but you push him right into resistance, 10 pips, and then 13 pips into that 4 hours, and then to top it up, daily resistance, 48 pips. But that was the next thing I was starting to see that's kind of changing about the markets. Previously, before, when I say previously before, I mean like this is July, so June, May, April, March, and then what is it, February. So back in those times, when you had a level like this, you had a 4 hour high, and then the New York session came and created, or potential lower high. The Asian session was not known for breaking this level and pushing the market higher. If you backtest and look through the data, you will see that until about I would say all of July. July is when kind of like the start of that third quarter is when I started to notice that the Asian session, just like it kind of did, like I was talking about that trade like a week ago, that pushed above and then consolidated and it melted down in London. Before the Asian would like just wick above that NY high and then just go in the opposite direction. So something to take note of, something to kind of keep in the back of the mind as we try to frame a trade for the night. We could just get stuck in this consolidated market and not get nothing. And in that case, I'm gonna be mad in the month. No, I'm just tripping. I'm gonna just chill till the next episode. Did we continue? Are we still? Yeah, we still rocking on the OBS. We rocking on the OBS. I gotta fix my screen configurations because I gotta get this back to where it's only over in the corner. If you got skills with the computer game, not necessarily the computer game, the video game, the broadcasting, hit your boy up, cause I'm struggling bad. Like I'm just not getting into the the YouTube videos of how to operate this OBS, but yeah, I got a long way to go. I'm at the beginning, like if yeah, way at the beginning. Like I don't got a clue, but I need something to drink. This mother, I'm thirsty than a mother. So I'm gonna put on this elevator music. Now I'm just tripping, and we're gonna see what let me see if we can get some. Let's see what I can do. I don't know if it gonna. Let me try this. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. I need to activate now. Then I'm gonna give me something to drink. Alright. Yeah. Let me see. Come on, through with it. Come on, through with it. Alright, I'll be right back. Oh. Shut up, bed. Shut up, bed. Shut up, bed. I got you, bed. I need the drag, my dog. I need the drag. I'm in the drag. We all agree. Yo, bitch, man, like. All right, on back. Yeah, and then what the hell happened to my That's another thing I need to figure out. Let me see. E, cause E, nope. E, I don't know. I'm gonna have to mess around, and then maybe because I ain't got the multi-monitor thing type deal type thing yet. But yeah, we're gonna see what crackling with that. We're gonna break out the scalper account. See what we can do. Ooh, E. Let's see if we get. I'm gonna hit. I know it's kind of hard to identify and see what's going on, but this is what price action right here. So what I'm looking at is, do we get spikes back and above these levels? And if we do get spikes, do we continue to not break lows once we get them spikes? At this point, it's on the 2 minute too. That's funky. Let me hit that 1 minute because I'm gonna hit a bang bang. Either we're gonna buy up or we're gonna go bearish. I don't really like the buys though, because you pushing right into support, so you technically already choking your range. Choking. Yeah, because you right into the 4 hour support, and then on the daily, it's a big ass home. Let's see. If we can start building up some bear structure, then your boy can active. But until I see some bear structure, I ain't shooting. Because it might just be a consolidated market, and then it's just, it's potentially best to watch from the 1 hour, especially if you ain't seeing what you want to see. If you expecting the market to do something, you think you're gonna take off quick, fast, and here, and you ain't getting the reaction you want, it's best to watch it from the 1 hour time frame, because that's gonna keep you from jumping in too impulsively too early. Because if I wanted to short, let's just say this trade idea was not in the background here. All right. So if I wanted to short right here necessarily, I don't necessarily have all the pieces to the puzzle that are going to tell me that price action is going short, and I'm going to be able to take these shorts. And this wouldn't be TP1. TP1 would be probably somewhere down here, but I ain't got all the pieces to the puzzle yet. Now, because this pattern that is displaying right here in front of me with these candlesticks right here, because I've seen this a time or two, that's what presumpted me to jump into the trade early, like I did here, late within the New York session, simply because of how these candles presented themselves and because of how we got this high point right over here. When I've seen this in the past, potentially price action likes to short off from here. I've also seen it where price action comes above, sits right here, and then short off. So, yeah, we're going to figure out which instance is at this point in time. Currently, is bullish. So, like I said, if this trade idea wasn't here yet, then at this point in time within the market, I ain't ready to short yet. As a matter of fact, could take the easy trade, take the buy, and just scalp the buy. 10 pips, 15 pips, 20 pips out of that thing. At this point, we was on the screen when all this price action came. So if we was sitting over here and we decided to say, okay, well, price action coming down, we didn't break this low and we didn't break this low, so we gonna take a buy.
if price action come open right here, we're gonna take it back because of this level here. Already, we'd already pushed up 10 pips. So theoretically, if you wanted to scalp this little buy action right here, you could have been out the market. And because we knew at 8 o'clock, price action was going to act up. So we didn't see big bearish momentum to the downside. So we would say, okay, 8 o'clock, and this is already bullish. I'm going to just hop in on buys at 8 o'clock because we already bullish. I know momentum hopping in, and we're going to see what happens. And as you can see, you got your 10 pips, and you could have been done with your trading session. Go watch baseball. I know it's about to come on, crank on if it ain't already on. Or, you know, sit in the back and look at the Sox on the Pigeon Channel or something. You know, just whatever you do. So, at this point, I didn't take that route. So, I'm over here with y'all, waiting on the trade setup. What happened to my... Yeah. Damn it, I think I just moved the entry too. I think I did. Yep, I moved the entry. Alright, so I gotta go back. Didn't think we were coming home. Product. Step for me. Oh, 69. 5. 60. And 69. 135. So we got TPM. Why? Why? I think we have potential if we catch it from London or we catch it from Asia. We are bullish. We are bullish. This right here got me messed up. This is the only reason I would see price action go bearish. Broke structure on the 1 hour. Usually price action break structure on the 1 hour. Kind of like we got right here. We getting ready to go. Break structure on the 1 hour. As you see back in over here, we kind of, you say we closed above, but we immediately came right back. We actually broke again to the downside. So, yeah, we're trying big bullish. We broke here, failed to create, dropped again. We broke here, failed to create, dropped here. So potentially we could get ready to drop one more again. But as you can see, that momentum we were talking about at 8 o'clock is as expected. And what we can determine from here, we have got alright, so that's how we're gonna play it. Let's see what happens. I don't think the TP is red. 69, 135, don't look right on the screen. 69, 780. And the Asian trader and the Asian session might have been the buys tonight. But like I said, since we got resistance right there, not really interested in that.
So now, if this market is gonna go bullish, what we gotta do is allow this to push, close above the highs, and then retrace, which potentially would be the price action that will happen from now until the London, and then at that point it'll be like, I'm out. So I know when I first started, a move like this would be called buying the high, and it will never work out. But now that I learned a little something, and I'm trying to sell the high, it'll never work out. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell really going on. That right there is exactly how you create a strategy. Come to the charts. Okay. Price action push created a high, we pull it back. Price action push created a high. Every time I look try to buy the high, it pulled back. So next time I'm looking for me a strategy, I come to the 1 hour chart and I look and see if price action created a high and then we pull back to that high. What's the chances? Remember, if I try to buy the high, it usually pull back first. So what's the chances now that we got a high with potential lower high that I can catch this retracement trade, that pullback trade that always happens when I try to buy this high? Because I see price action bullish, but every time I come to the charts and I see price action bullish and I want to take these buys, that shit just sank. And I'm like, oh, I knew it was going to drop. I should have took the sale. Now we come to the charts, same ass scenario. We pushing higher. We at the high. It's like, ooh, I want to buy because it's going to go up. Now, we actually want to sell it, and the motherfucker going up. This right here is what drives most people crazy. They can go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But it's like, you know, when you got, or when you have your foundation when it comes to how you mark up your structures and your zones, and you have rules as to say, okay, well, we sit back and we're waiting to see if price action can close above some of these areas where it couldn't close above before, and then we basically trade off that, or, you know, do we want to say, okay, well, since we already created resistance, price action is struggling to close the resistance, we're going to get in early because we saw something on the lower time frames that say, okay, well, price action should go bearish from here, but as you can see, it ain't. So, yeah. It's all about the probabilities, my man. Because next week, we're going to be on the stream. It's going to be the same ass setup on the same ass Monday at the same ass 8 o'clock. And the same ass setup going to be right here. We're going to be like, man, remember last week when I was like, yeah, we should have bought. And then it went up. And then we ain't buy because we tried to short it. And then this time we're going to buy it. And then it shorted up. You know, so you got to, you know, draw up your zones and be like, yeah, I know for sure that this is the high. If it breaks above there, it's going to keep bullish. If it don't, then it's going to bearish. I just got to wait for that. Even if that continues to squaggle right up in here, all the way to the London session, all the way to the New York session, you got to wait. You got to wait because then eventually that bitch going to pow. And then by you waiting, put you alert. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put an alert on your ass. AUDUSD because you playing with my emotions. And let me get the other alert. You playing with my emotions. Then that way I can go show y'all the other charts. And that way, you know, if you trade one of the other charts, then you can potentially have some confirmation on your gas. Oh yeah. This Bitcoin trade. We called this one out yesterday. I missed the entry from way down here. We came back to retest this level. Came in as it started pushing the profit 10 pips, took off 50%. Simply because we were losing momentum. Took off 10 pips, took off 50%, 10 more pips, so at 20 pips I took off or remaining 25%, and then like way up here, as soon as I closed the app, this right here happened. So trailing stops got hit somewhere up here, like really close to the entry, and as you can see, it's just been leaking ever since. What I saw back in over here was we created the high from this level. We came back down. I knew it was gonna push up. I kind of thought it was gonna push up higher, but it respected this level here, and then it just started leaking. I didn't really do too much more on Bitcoin just because I like to focus on AU during the week. But GJ, if I would have switched to GJ last night, some good buys coming from the weekend analysis. As we can see, price action pushed up, kind of like we said we wanted to see. Price action close above that 1 hour resistance, and it did. And then yeah, it just pushed up for them good 64 good old pips. So if I'd have been watching this during the Asian, let's see here. We came down. My best judgmental call would have had to come from this tap and this tap. Okay, so came back. What did I just move? We came back into this level here during the Asian session, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. On the 15-minute. All right, so this is what the price action looked like. Price action opened during the Asian, came to create the eye, melted into that level we were already watching. Did not break that low, so potentially as we broke away from that level, I probably would have shifted from right here. At this point, when price action closed bullish at this low, I probably would have shifted to the 1 minute or the 5 minute. Let me bring that back, because I would have been looking for spike to the highs, spike me in the highs. So I've been looking for the structure shift off the 5 minute, and then let's see if we caught one off the 1 minute. All right, so it came down into support. Yeah, we could have took that right there. We could have took it from right here as you are bearish into this level. Then boom, we got a structure shift or the breaker. Yeah, breaker structure, shift structure. You know what I'm talking about. We pushed up and then we continued bullishly from there. Or if you didn't trust that just yet, here's the retest. As we were bearish into this level, boom, we shifted and started going bullish. We came back to retest. Wasn't going back this way no more, so I probably could have entered over here, but this would have been during the London. So ultimately, my entry would have been back in over here during the Asian session, or stops below this level here because we didn't break below there. And then TP1 probably would have been here from the Asian session, and then TP2 ultimately, as price pushed up into those highs during the London. You could have smashed up right there. Those 64 pips we were looking to take advantage of. We wouldn't have been here during the London, New York session, so we'd have to take advantage from down here. And that's what it would have been on GJ. Yeah. Let's see, GU. Pretty much nothing. Simply because we were consolidating back here last week, so we needed to see a break, continuation, buys above, break and retest trade above 1.20, so about the 1.20, say about 650, 2650 level. Stay above that level. So right now, since we broke above and came right back in, what I want to see is break above and stay above that 2600ish, 650 level, and then take a buy back up into potentially see where we at with it. And I gotta mark up that NAS again too. It's about 85 pips if it continues bullishly back into that next structural level. So potentially some risky buys coming up on GBP USD. Switching over to NZD USD. From that weekend analysis, we were saying this move potentially could have been a pump fake to the highs. We were looking to see if price action closed back above to kind of say this is not a pump fake, but as you can see, we got no price action to the top side, so that might have been a pump fake right there. So, if we push back into this level and fail to break this high right here, then yeah, get active, get active, get active. USD JPY is what we're looking for. Is what we're looking for. Is what we're looking for. Ooh, but we're gonna see what actually happens. I don't trade anything but AU and Bitcoin currently for the last 2 months. So yeah, I just put my analysis on here. This is what my eyes see when I look at the chart. So this is how I would trade it. You know, get to those zones. Go to a small time frame, look for structure shifts, and yeah, or look for the structure shifts or the breaker structures on the 1 hour, and then go to the smaller time frame. But yeah, so we were bearish, bullish, bearish, break below here or retest it there. Just find that area on the smaller time frame, and then short once we push back into the level. You know, so potentially we push back to here. Potentially get a short there. Potentially. But since price action is bullish, if we shift on the 1 hour, then animal looking for the shorts because now we're going bullish. But that 1 hour level is like way, hold up. Yeah. 1 hour level is like way up here on UJ. So yeah, at that point, potentially you should have been able to catch some buys back into the highs. Looking at gold, yeah. Let me see if gold was going to continue bullish. We wanted to see how price action reacted from this level here. We completely melted through that level, and we're retracing currently. So if we can't get back up to break these highs, this bullish continuation will be dead, and we coming back to the supports and then potentially downtrending. We could remain bullish from this point, but it's 1 hour, and we broke structure for the most part. Well, not necessarily. Yeah, I guess you can say broke that 1 hour structure, closed below. So that next 1 hour support, this must have been marked up to 4 hour. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That X and that X and PX, S and that X and PX. Looking for price action to melt through that level, kind of like the same thing on NAS. Price action already melted through his first level, so you know, looking for SPX to follow suit. I guess in the same spot, but yeah. So when we do, what is it? What is the show for tomorrow? There's a show name for tomorrow on Tuesdays. There's compare and contrast. Yeah, it's from the market, from the weekend analysis to Tuesday, how the market is progressing, where the market's going, what trends you should be following or looking at. Where the market's going versus where we thought it was going. I don't know if I need to remark this because this is spectacular. This is just dropping. I mean, as you can see, we had the higher low that gave you the high. We pushed into that higher failure to create new highs. So we broke structure. This will be a new lower high. Now we're going to create a new lower low. I wouldn't adjust the 4 hour zones just yet because you don't have a bullish close. You don't know how far this 4 hour level is going to melt to. It just could keep coming on down all the way down here. And then necessarily this would be your high and your low could put you way down here. But until you get that bullish close, you can't identify that level. But if you go down to the 1 hour and you prematurely mark those levels, that's how you get clapped. That's how you get the clap. No, not get the clap, get clapped. Yeah, get clapped in the market. But as you can see, we closed through that 4 hour level. We retraced and broke through. And retraced once, retraced twice, and now we could be getting ready to melt on down. Melt on down. Would I take that trade? Hell no, because I don't trade NAS, and I don't know if that's going to pump fake and push back higher or what. So, according to the rules, we have provided a new low. So, according to the rules, we need a new lower high to short again. 1, 2, break on through. You got your trend. 1, 2, pump fake you. We going up again. You know what I'm saying? That's the little chat you say, whatever. And that's pretty much it. But back over to AU, as you can see, look like we're back in profits. Still have not. Oh, snap peas. That might have been my re-entry. Let's see. If we break this low, that was the re-entry right there, bro. If we break the low, my stomach's bubbling for some reason. I must have some bad ginger pains or something. Let me see. Jump down to the 5. Oh, now here comes the re-entry. We gotta wait for a bullish close here on this 5 minutes. Even on the 1 minute. No, let's do from the, what do we do from the FIFA or the 15? I'm trying to think what I did it from last time. We can't do it off 1 minute because you already got a bullish close. I think it was off the 5 minute last time. So let's wait till we get a bullish close on this 5 minute chart, and then I'm gonna draw up some gas and I'm gonna get in again. Let's see. If you watch some of my old material, you already know what's coming up next. So get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. But we gotta wait for that bullish close though. Remember that bullish close, then you pretty much guessing. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this so we don't get the happy feet because I don't want to get in too early. And it's coming to that 9 o'clock. Ooh, it's coming to 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock during the agent session, I know for me, is usually that retracement candle. So right now, price action is consolidating, so ain't nothing to retrace. But if we usually at this time was just going straight bullish, I knew at 9 o'clock we about to suck right back up to the top side or to the downside and be bearish, and vice versa. Yeah. Right now we pretty much back and forth, so ain't nowhere to suck back to. But usually something like this is what you'll have, and then 9 o'clock will suck. Oh, go back. This will be a 9 o'clock open, and then it'll retrace. So I call 9 o'clock my retracement candle. In actuality, it's just the open of a new 4-hour candle, and it's just the open of a new candle. That's what it does. But if my 9 o'clock candle changes, if it pulls back enough, that 10 o'clock candle usually continues what that 9 o'clock candle is doing. So yeah, you can get active off that. There is a trade set up right there. 9 o'clock candle goes one way, that 10 o'clock candle usually continues in that same direction. Let's see if that happens tonight. Let's see if you can build a strategy off the 9 o'clock candle in the agent session goes in one direction. The 10 o'clock candle usually follows it. Run that strategy, 100 trades. Get back at me. Let me know what you came up with. I want 10% off top. See what happens when you ain't got no guests and ain't no music bumping and you end up talking to yourself. It'd be a random conversation. Ms. Kim, when you come back to watch this video, I don't really see too much you can adjust on Nas at this point, simply because when you're marking the higher highs and the higher lows, yes, we are bullish on the, I think bullish on the lower time frames only. Yeah, we're bullish for the most part, retracing higher time frames, and ultimately price action has kind of gone back bearish. 4-hour levels, highs, failure to create new highs, came back to support, pushed up and broke through that support. So now you're creating high, low, lower high, potentially a lower low somewhere down here. I don't think this move is finished. I think this really is going to leak. How to identify it is, see how there's no bullish candle down here like there is right here. I'm able to identify the levels because we got the bullish close here, then the next close the bear, so that confirms your resistance right here. Same thing down here, the bearish close followed by bullish close, confirming your support. Price action breaks through support, so we're looking for that next bullish close down here to determine your range on the 4-hour chart, and then get active from there. So anybody trading Nas, I think it's gonna leak. I could be wrong because I don't trade Nas, so we're gonna see what it do. Back over to AU.
Of the 1 hour candle, what we kind of can see is price action had 7 minutes before it closed, and it did all that pump faking to the top side, and now it's coming back to the downside. Back over here with me, Scooby Doo. All y'all buyers came into the market, thought y'all was about to run up some stuff, and now look at y'all curled up at the bottom of that candle. Nah, I'm just tripping. Yeah, like I said, see, this is what happened when you ain't got no guests. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no music in the background. But let's see what happened. On the 30 minute, we kind of like some pump fake action. We pushed into the highs. If this candle closes below the low, you already know what time it is. Yeah, that's what I said. I think this was I missed the re-entry. Ooh, screw me. So at this point, we are seven pips, or 7 pips. Hell yeah, I missed my re-entry on the scalp account and on the real account. We got this dynamic risk entry from way over here. Dynamic risk only mean didn't use full risk. Yeah. So now you let it run and see what happens. Fuck is that? I ain't put the TV on there. Somebody might be in my house. Y'all hold on. I'm going to get the scrap. Alright. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left, and I'm about to peel out on y'all. Because price action ain't doing nothing. Potentially no trade setup during the Asian, no trade setup. Unless this just starts leaking, yeah. Or if it start impulsing to the highs, then yeah. But at this point, I'm an hour and some change into the game, and your boy ready to go watch some TV. I keep hearing noises in the background. I'm tweaking. I don't know if it's I don't know. Maybe because the house is just so quiet, you can hear everything now. And no kids in the background. But if you like the content, like and subscribe. I appreciate you for rocking with me. If you didn't watch all the way through, we do got a Telegram up and bumping. Bitcoin is really just leaking. It gonna leak and ain't let me get in. Oh, I'm so disgusted. Yo, and that be moving. It's moving. Yo, we call our moves like this all the time. It broke out of that channel though. I don't like that. That's how I missed it. Not playing the channel. Okay, so we might just be at the bottom of it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it might pump fake right back on up in there. Retest that midline. There go another strategy. And then it could just leak. You know, we giving out strategies left and right, bro. Y'all come to the strategy. I'm called the strategy channel. Come and see what's up. 15 minutes. Identify that channel just like you got back over here. You know, you can just say, okay, I know when Bitcoin identify which way it wants to go, it likes to move in channels. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the charts and I'm gonna identify the channels. And when price action comes to the top of my channel, I'm gonna get active. When price action comes to the bottom of my channel, I'm gonna get active. And then, you know, you run that for 100 trades and see how you win out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, based off of this, you know, like we said, we don't really know what's going on over here, but we know when price action want to get active, it moves within the channel. You know, we hit the top of the channel, we hit the midline. So potentially from the midline, we either gonna push through or we're gonna reject and come back to the top. Right here, we trying to pump fake through. So I mean, you know, if you had this channel tighter, then potentially you could have ran like that, and then every time you hit the bottom to the top, it's just you gotta play with it, you gotta tweak it, and you gotta figure out what worked for you. And then when you figure it out, you come to the charts and you get active. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Like and subscribe. Holla at your boy. I'm out of that thing. I need something to eat, something to drink, somewhere to sleep. Y'all come.